Hello and welcome to the Car Culture Podcast. Behind the scene is what we're calling it. Dan's already jumped in. Dan, do you want to introduce yourself?
No.
Good. And with us today, we have the young man, Thaddeus Brown. Brown on Instagram, right?
One
Brown. How many Browns?
Brown, one.
Brown, one. Introduce yourself to the audience, please, Mr. Brown.
How many people listen to this?
Fuck you.
How did you get 202?
All right. Hello, 202 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be 203
Yeah.
now, maybe.
Get a couple.
Yeah.
So what's this? This is very professional for a new podcast.
Yeah, well, no, this is someone else.
Technically, it's not new. It's been happening since Feb, so that's probably 6 months, right?
Yeah, we had a
newish.
Yeah, the first one we couldn't publish.
No, the first two.
Two? Okay, and we turned it down a little bit since then. Yeah. You know, we cancelled the midgets.
Wait. Cameraman Thad,
Yeah.
video producer Thad, and friend of the Smoking Tire. Very good friend of the Smoking Tire as well, right? We met same time as Hash and Sid. We all met at WSF.
The
agency
place of dreams.
Yeah, agency formerly known as WSF.
Well, for some people, that took tons of cash out of there. Yeah.
But you came from the US, right?
Yeah.
You've brought over some experience of the scene. We were talking to Sid about California being the like haven for car culture as well, and how that kind of is the benchmark almost. But you're here now. You've been here for how long? How many years?
5 years?
5 years?
I don't know. It just kind of blends together, as you know.
Yeah, that's a problem. And you're still to buy a fucking car.
I have a car.
What'd you have?
I have a Pajero. Who gives a shit?
Well, we ain't going to talk about Pajeros.
No. All right. We're going to talk about buying cars.
Yeah.
So okay, first topic. Let's talk about buying cars compared to the US. Why not?
All right. Here's the problem.
Okay.
Because the beginning of the pandemic thing, we went and looked at that silver Ferrari.
Yeah.
Great. Red
360.
interior, flappy paddles, whatever. 185,000 dirhams.
Yeah, you should have brought that.
Fuck, I know, right? Now, the same car is listed on Abizzle by some place on the strip over there for $285,000.
Yeah.
That car is dirhams.
Yeah.
That car is not 100,000 dirhams better in 2 years.
Yeah,
and all of it's crazy.
Yeah.
NSX, man. My NSX now is 250.
Your NSX is fucking bullshit. I don't think anyone's going to buy yours, let alone the fucking wing. It doesn't have an alternator that works.
No, but that's
VTEC
everything.
doesn't fucking work,
No.
so it's not a Honda.
And the windows don't work.
And your fucking wheel fitment's poor.
But what's really funny is it is, unfortunately, because you're right. But cars have gone up in price.
It makes no sense. Like R32s, all this stuff, anything of anything is overpriced.
Yeah.
Is it just because more people are sitting at home on their laptops and just going?
I blame fucking Americans. Sorry.
I
like
think-
in the JDM world.
I think
don't
we-
know
Oh, yeah,
about
for sure. We
everything
can
else.
definitely take
The
that
25
blame.
year.
Yeah. But I also get it because if you can't, you know, you couldn't have something for so long and then suddenly you can have it.
But it's also an age thing because you couldn't have it because you were young. People like our age now, in our 30s, we can afford cars.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a bit of dosh on the side. Let's buy that big wing boy.
Yeah, and if you haven't traveled for a year, you got an extra couple $1,000 here and there.
Yeah.
Did
And
you
then,
just say, let's buy that big wing boy?
Yes.
Fucking hell.
but
Sorry.
here's the thing. I see like the R32s at $80,000, $90,000. Is a stock R32 a $90,000 driving
friend of yours
experience?
This
who
is a
also
very
had
good
one.
question, right? And I'm sure I asked Andy this in another case where I was talking about the price of an R34 GTR. They're stupid, $200,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it ain't a $200,000 car.
No.
It doesn't drive like a $200,000 car.
Yeah, but the dream is, do you know what I mean? Like
What
the best car in Gran Turismo was a fully modded R34. You could do that big high speed loop.
He lives in JDM.
Yeah, but that's my point. That all of us who did Need for Speed, watched the Fast and Furious, and played Gran Turismo,
Yeah.
right? They knew this was Godzilla, right? There was was it Underground 2 or 1. The best car was a GTR, right? The 34. Now, 25-year-olds coming. People have got money. People have been sat at home on their laptop doing bugger all, right? And if you've managed to get through this time period without losing your job, you're thinking, I've not gone out and done much. I've not done a holiday. I've got some money burning a hole in my pocket. I might go 500,000 dirhams for an R34.
I would
Too
not.
much.
Yeah, it is
Way
too
too
much.
much.
And as much as like I would like an R34,
We all would.
I wouldn't. I really, unless I had
Who wouldn't?
shit tons of money. There are better cars out there to purchase that are going to bring you much
GT4s.
more enjoy. I'd probably, it's a bold statement. Like, I think I'd rather spend, so a non-armoured spec GT4 is just over 400,000 dirhams.
It used to be 315.
No, they're more expensive now. I know this.
The lowest I saw was 280 in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, for a year. Oh, I'm talking
Yeah.
brand new.
Oh,
brand
brand new, okay.
So with the Club Sport package, and
Which is what seats.
what's that in dollars?
200, 120, 130.
Yeah, it's up there.
So you'd be lucky to buy a good, clean.
That should be
34
GT3
for
money,
that.
in my opinion.
The
Yeah.
prices of cars have changed all around now, though, haven't they? They have generally gone up. Like,
Even like you've seen probably on Johnny Leemer's things, like there's G wagons. People are asking
Oh, the
$185,000
my
over.
God.
Like it's chip shortage, all this, all that. But I also think people are just kind of Bitcoin. Everything's an investment down. Like, dude, these are used cars.
yeah.
They're
I
used
know.
cars.
To Dan's point as well, like the car was not in the best shape and isn't a good one. And most of these cars selling for this money aren't in the best shape as well, to be honest. Yeah.
No,
They're
yeah.
not an investment if you want to drive them, because I know this. Fuck me, the amount of money you spend on them. Like, if I've been lucky to buy cars at good prices, but I guarantee you, the day that I sell them, I ain't making money on them because I tried to drive them. Like, and to keep them on the road, it is expensive.
Yeah.
But I think this whole thing of investment got blown out with the air-cooled Porsche stuff.
Yeah.
Don't
Like,
get me on this fucking.
When everyone's like, you gotta have an
Sid is here,
air-cooled.
by the way.
I know he's here.
What do you mean?
He probably
Fuck Sid.
he probably bought right though. But everyone had to have an air-cooled Porsche.
Yeah.
And then all of it kind of became it
was all
It's-
Seinfeld.
See, and
Leno,
I tell you what,
air-cooled Porsche.
the whole air-cooled Porsche thing is an absolutely perfect example of it, right? Like, I don't even know the prices of 964s, and
Ugh.
yet they do look very nice, and I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
the
They're
way
on
they're
60,000
styled.
a year, I think,
But
for a decent
tell
one.
me, like, if you
No,
can get
60 for
a used GT3 like a Gen 1 991, which has got to be better than it is.
Oh, the
better.
PDK
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's just a better fucking car. Like, so.
No, but it's not if you come up to Cars and Coffee and want to show off. And what's that movie, Californication, right? He
Yeah.
drives a 964 on that. That's why it's like watches. It's cosplaying. I want to be a better person than I am now. I want to pretend
I
to
just
be.
want to buy and drive a decent
You do,
car, right?
you do,
Like,
but that's not
and
the
they're all
market.
priced too much because wankers are buying them and not using them. They're driving to Cars and Coffee and that's it.
Yeah.
They're taking their 488 in third gear, never
Yeah.
take it to the track, and just to show off. Or they flip their GT3s over and over again, and they're in that loop.
Yeah.
It
Off
is
to
a
the
sad,
moon.
it's a sad fucking world we live in at the moment, isn't it? When it comes
For the
to
car
cars.
people can't afford cars
And now
anymore.
EV is coming, so we're going to lose.
I think it's sad for poor people.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get into crypto and midgets, Alex.
I'm already there, mate. Small coin.
But I love watching all the auction stuff and seeing what's going for what. And it's madness. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of cool stuff from the 1950s and 1960s popping up as people die and things like that.
Because McLaren F1 compared to 250 GTO, because that's the big question, right? Because the McLaren F1 is only on the way to the moon, using the meme. Like, it is 20 million, 25 million maybe now for a McLaren F1.
That car's not worth 25 million of driving experience. For
I don't
sure.
know, it's pretty cool.
I rode in it.
But the 250 GTO was the car, or the Bugatti Atlantique, those were the cars. I guarantee they're going to be, like, those ones, the 50s, 60s cars are going to go, and you're going to get all these cars going up. Because I guarantee, what's the, sorry, I don't know, I'm guaranteeing everything, but the R34 Z-Tune, the last of the great Godzillas, with the GT500 engine, right?
Yeah.
Those things are going to be the next 250s. McLaren F1s are going to be the next 250s.
In the
right?
future, yeah, for sure.
Well, the future's a few years away, I say.
But so in the old school stuff that's still decently priced, like $30,000, what is 100,000 dirhams?
Like what?
Like a 1957 Cadillac in black, a huge wing and everything is way cooler than you can drive for anything for 100,000. 100,000 dirhams.
But is that
It's
what you
slow
want?
as shit,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
you win Cars and Coffee if
Yeah.
you're going to win
If that's what you're
Cars and
looking for,
Coffee.
Yeah, it's better than a fucking 964.
Yeah.
Another 964.
Or this man's SC. Is it an SC that you've got?
It is an SC, but that's the thing. So you're talking about GT3s. A GT3, 991.1 GT3 is still more expensive than an SC. Believe it or not.
It's a better car.
I don't disagree. But yeah.
I hope we got that.
Oh, he'll turn it up and figure it out. If not, we'll just cut it out. Porsche's shit.
No, but I think it's some of the driving experience values are out of whack.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
that's what you should be paying for, right?
The Ferrari 360 is not a 300,000 dirham driving experience. It's just not. or paying more. It's not. There's better things. Like the GT4 for the same money is way fucking better.
Or the Supra, because we've still got
the
over
Supra.
here as well,
Yeah. Like there's other better things for money, but it just doesn't like make any sense anymore. And for me, like I like cars for an adventure and a thing. It can be anything.
An experience, right?
Yeah, it can be anything. Like driving around Italy in a little shitbox is just as fun as.
And that's, I think, one of the problems here, because this is car culture AE, right? And AE, there's not much to do here. You can do Jace, you can do Hafit. What else are you going to do? Sit in traffic and shake his head. There's not like, because I just came back from Cape Town. Cape Town is fucking stunning, right? And the roads are ridiculous.
How many
but
times
here,
you get robbed?
Huh?
How many times you get robbed?
No, but I did get stuck in South Africa for one day. But my point is that like the roads there are
Hold on a
conducive-
second. How many countries have you been stuck in accidentally? You were stuck in Bahrain for like
He
weeks.
lost his passport.
Fuck. All right. Anyway, sorry.
No, but like, what are you going to do with a classic car here? That's, I think, one of the problems.
Yeah. Well, and then
Go to
not using the car hurts me as a car person.
Yeah, I know.
It hurts me to the core to see like your 720S, which is awesome. All it does is go to, what's
JBR.
Cafe Rider.
Yeah.
No, but that's a car person. They normally go JBR.
Yeah.
I used to live in Marina. There is the highest quantity of fucking Hurricanes in the world. Every Tom, Dick, and bloody influencer has a Hurricane in Marina, and he wants to drive it at 3 a.m. as fucking fast as he can across those bridges. That's what he needs to do, or she.
Yeah, like it's wasted. Like if you're blasting up the Great Fujera roads now and doing the full loop every other couple weeks, and that's fine. But for the most part, I feel like cars are just wasted here.
Compared to California as well, right?
Oh yeah, like
Even in LA.
yeah, you just like there's so many different places to go, things to do, road trips. Like you want a road trip here, you're done in how many hours?
You've
Couple
got Oman
hours?
is the only one that, but no one's.
But is Oman open yet?
It is just open now, yeah.
Okay, because that drive to Musandan's awesome.
But drive to Iraq, it's like, oh, do you like straight roads? 'Cause I got straight roads for
Let me
you.
show you.
Yeah.
It's like, but I don't know. It's the cars should be like adventures and stuff like that. And it's,
Experience machines.
yeah, and it's tough here because there's not that many things to do.
Because you've been here for 5 years and you've managed to not have a car. Compared to California, where you came from, you probably. What do you have before you come? You had that Fiesta ST, right?
Yeah, I like my little.
So
bit.
that's a good point.
This is on
Smoking tire,
Yeah, I'm sure I saw. I was watching something where, it might have been about the gym. I can't remember. Oh no, it was '86, and Matt was saying, "Oh yeah, our ST is much better than this," and it was a tuned '86. I don't know if it had a turbo on it or if it.
Oh,
No, it was a TJ Hunt one where he had
400 horsepower supercharged thing.
No, it was when he put like race fuel in it or something and had like a
E85.
tune on it, yeah.
All right.
And like Matt scared the life out of TJ Hunt in his early days, right?
Yeah.
So when he had a lot lesser following, so it was quite funny. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, our Focus ST would absolutely whoop this."
But that's my point, that you had a Focus ST here. You've been here for 5 years and you've not had enough of a desire to get a car. And I think it's probably the city's fault a little bit.
Yeah, like I think the most fun adventures the next big car things I would like to do would either be one of those self-drive safaris in Namibia, and you drive whatever they have. You know what I mean? It's
Whatever Land Cruiser they've got.
Yeah, whatever they got. And it's like, all right, cool. This is a car adventure. The car is the tool to get you where to go. It doesn't really matter what it is. And the other ones, they're both off-road, funnily enough, is
Italy?
Italy.
Yeah.
It's all, there's a route through Italy from like the mountains up there all the way through all dirt roads.
Yeah.
Through the whole country. Like, that'd be awesome.
Take a rental.
And
Just don't
the new Ferrari Puro Sang, or whatever they're going to call
Oh,
it.
the Urus.
Urus or Maserati, whatever.
Yeah.
Which will probably be the fastest selling and the biggest selling Ferrari.
Aston Martin are now no longer in trouble because they make an SUV.
Yeah, that's the other thing that really fucking pisses me off as well. It's such a sad world that we live in where manufacturers are having to build 4x4s to
Well, you can
survive.
thank Porsche for it, right?
Yep.
It's not thank Porsche, it's thank the fucking people.
The audience.
Really, like, let's be
But-
honest, because...
I know why. I think I know why. All right, here's my thesis. Sports cars used to be bought by more people because sports cars were one of the only ways you could really show status on road and off, and like not on the road, right, with your friends. Because if you drive a sports car, you've made it's a status symbol beyond just being a sports car, right? The problem with like 4x4s were they were really good before. However, there were massive drawbacks. They drove like crap. They were normally diesel. They were just lots of the different reasons you want to run a 4x4. Now you could get a big angry SUV like a G-Wagon or an Urus or whatever what's the Aston called again?
DBX.
DBX, thank you. You can have all these things with a really good badge, and you don't have any of the drawbacks of driving a sports
Badge
car.
doesn't make a fucking car.
It does, because if I'm status symbol, I want to show off in an Aston Martin or a Lamborghini, right? But the problem is most people don't enjoy sitting this close to the ground with an angry car they feel like wants to kill them.
Back to my thing.
That's why.
The 57 Cadillac Eldorado for 100,000 dirhams is way more showy than a Urus.
Yeah.
Way more. Like when I was on my way to the gym this morning, there's a guy in this old gray step side 1950s Ford pickup. I'm like, that's kind of cool. Just coming around the roundabout, like you never.
But does he have AC? Probably not.
in this country though, it goes so much further having a car like that versus a everyday Hurricane or something, right? Like we've seen it at most of the car shows. We're going on to that. Let's talk about the culture or the scene in the US versus here, because you've seen it here. You've been to events here. What's your thoughts on the difference?
Okay, difference between the scenes. There's like more activities and adventures to go on in Southern California. Here's a very small place. There's only so many things you can do.
You say there's more niches in California.
Oh, yeah. There's like...
Different kinks, because I like that analogy. You used it at one point.
Yeah.
Because you can get real kinky with cars.
Yeah, there's like just different, and you can... The cars that show up at the top of Angeles Crest at the Good Vibes Breakfast Club, whatever, at whatever the name of the old places that's for sale. Newcomb's.
There we
for
go.
Sale
California boys over here.
Sell for $8 million fucking dollars. Anyway.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway, but you go up there and you see all kinds of weird stuff. It's not like here you'll see all of the new things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It takes a bold person to go outside the box and find
Well, you've got
something,
big driver,
giant wings
Dubai
on
drives.
MSX.
But Dubai drives, for example, that's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
thing that's kind of
Yeah,
helped
yeah.
coalesce the
That's-
not supercar scene.
That's the coolest kind of thing that I've seen lately. At least, going with people and doing stuff.
things with non-supercars.
Can I comment?
Yeah, I was literally like.
We'll revisit the conversation when we take you to an event.
So back to the differences.
The best event was the one that you guys did forever ago with all the super low car.
Mate.
Yeah.
Because that was quality.
Yeah,
There was a
some
curated
cool
show.
shit
But that
there.
was a niche as well, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
And there was
pure
one.
niche. Thank you for that.
Yeah. But I want to go back.
Because you were one of the judges, weren't you?
Yeah, it was
One
some
of the
South African guy.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to go back to super low cars on airbags and giant stereo systems, and big chrome wheels, like proper 1990s shit.
I've got that itch as well. What was
love
the
it.
magazine called again?
Our magazine? Because
Max Power
England's-
Reunion. That was
England's
massive.
different to America, right?
Yeah.
Like,
How many times have I sent you like Civic hatches and things like that? I'm like,
EJs and EKs.
seen the fucking price of these cars?
I know,
as well?
what the fuck? You can't even buy a Civic hatch
Can I buy a
anymore.
craft
It's like,
box? No.
no, so then that's like, then where do you go next? So I'm like, okay, let's look on Hemmings or whatever, like 1940s, 1950s, and you have to go like weird stuff, like,
Proper kinky.
yeah, like a Corvette ZR1 from 1993. Sexy still.
C4, C5?
C4.
Because the C5, you can make it look like an RX-7.
Yeah, C5 is the swoopier one, but the C4 is all like, whoosh, like a big knife.
RX-7. Sorry, this man trying to make things look
Well, you
like they
can't buy an
shouldn't
RX-7
fucking look.
anymore.
Yeah, no,
No.
that's true. Yeah.
You can't buy any of that. So 90s Escalades, big wheel spinners, giant stereo systems.
I'd be all about that, to be fair. Yeah.
It'd be fun.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. There's
That would
so
be a
many-
good scene. That would be a good fun, like...
just airbags.
No, but just imagine the cars here, like Altimas and Maximas.
well,
Like, what's the
if you're
slash-
gonna drive up JBR with your windows halfway rolled down and blacked out tint,
Do it because you haven't got AC.
you might as well have a really loud stereo system and like really cool wheels. Like
Okay,
not
what
driving.
music? What music are we banging?
I was listening to Outkast on my way here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's the cruising culture should be cooler here. Is what I think I'm trying
Yeah.
to get to.
Or less obvious.
Like,
Is there a cruise culture here? at
Yeah,
all?
JBR,
Like-
what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
but it's all
literally JBR.
patrols.
It's a car
Yeah.
park for a reason.
JBR and Jumeirah. The problem is they use it for different reasons.
Picking
Yeah.
up women. Yeah, but that's
Was it
what
the
we
phone
did.
number?
as well,
But that's what
right?
cruising was
Yeah.
for.
I was going to say, that's what we did when we were growing up, right?
Yeah.
Like,
That's the big mistake. People thought girls like cars. Yeah, if you're watching this and you're young, they don't.
But yeah, so there's no difference here, really, Ahmed. Like, I just think there's a generational gap. Like, we did it when we were, I don't know what the US is like, but we were doing it when we were When did you pass your test? 17?
17.
17, yeah.
Your provisional, you get
like 17 to 19 until you realise.
If you're not into scooters, then you've got a...
Scooter's 16.
Yeah.
No
That's
way.
it.
I never did that game.
125
I was
cc.
driving at 16.
Yeah?
Yeah, proper. Like,
So going back to...
I was driving in the village, but not legally. But I lived in the village, right? So you'd never have any police anywhere.
like it's like getting your driver's license was like a huge deal back in the day. I don't know
Yeah.
if it is so.
No?
No, because you got
anymore.
social media. Why do you care?
Like,
Fuck off.
if I was 16,
I don't agree with it, but...
Yeah. I
I
don't know,
think it's the truth. Like the reason people like cars is because they didn't have to stay at their parents' house, right? So a car was an escape module from your parents' world. It was your space. You're in control. You pick up your mates and do whatever the fuck you want. You go through the drive-through. You get to do that, right?
Yeah.
You do whatever you want.
go street
Now-
race in the middle of the night.
Yeah, but
Street
now it's
racing
just-
and picking up girls. That's what
Yeah.
we wanted to do when we
go
were
to
young,
different
right?
parties. Listen to music.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, get the Uber.
Now we just feel like boomers, kids these days.
No, like, I think having the right cruising car is probably what I've been missing.
Missing, yeah.
Because it'd be a lot of fun. We'd all jump in the car.
Yep.
We all ride around,
Oh,
listen
it's because
to
it's
old
got benches
90s
as well, so you've got like 8 people on the back.
Yeah, exactly. Chilled out. Because we're not going anywhere fast. There's no...
Going slow.
No. The only other thing we had fun playing with was the... What do we call it? The Dubai 300?
Yeah, the off-road. Yeah, the off-road experience. So let's set this up, right? So there's
Okay.
do we want to put this on the podcast? It's going
Yeah, who
public?
gives a shit?
Okay.
We're
right. So
No one will listen anyway, so it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
exactly. 225
Just
people
slag
about
off
to get
Dubai
great.
But
drives,
see, maybe we'll get a couple.
24 hours of lemons, right? This was
Yes.
the first thought we had. So
I like this idea.
So the 24 hour.
You know the 24 hour
So
lemons.
let's introduce
Yeah.
the 24 hour
Yeah.
lemons. So anyone who doesn't
Why
know.
isn't it here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
24 hours of lemons is a joke because of the 24 hour of Le Mans. So rather than using state of the art sports cars, you get a set amount of budget.
It's capped, yeah.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
a budget. You have to only spend that money. You make the car safe and you run the damn thing for 24 hours in an endurance race. Now, what me and Thad were thinking about was one, why is that not here? Number two, you do it off road here. Right?
Yeah,
You
and
do
there's
it
no
off-road.
laws there, so it doesn't matter what you drive.
Yeah, there's
then,
so
right?
many cheap Range Rover Sports.
That's exactly. You'd get 5 feet really quick.
Yeah, but you'd be having fun though, right? Like,
But that's the point.
Yeah.
How fun would that be? You get all these garages, like the Toretto garage. You get all the garages in the Middle East to build their own car.
I love that analogy as well, the Toretto garage.
Yeah, you get all the different garages in the in the UAE and even in the region. You set them 25,000 dirhams. Buy the car, make it safe. You have to go from here to here, 300 and something. The Dubai to 320, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Right. That distance, whoever gets there first wins.
I'm just trying to think people would never stick to a 25 grand budget here, would they? They'd just say 25.
But that's why you've got like.
Well, that's like
scrutiny
Lemons does penalty points. So
Okay.
you can show up in your
Lamborghini.
NASCAR, but you'll have a million penalty laps.
Yeah.
So you never actually win. So you can just kind of. I don't know if here has that component of silly of doing that. Maybe
People
it's a
aren't silly,
strokely American thing. Like we would have a lot of fun getting the cheapest
Yeah.
Cayenne we could find.
Your Pajero, just take that.
And just like, yeah, and just slamming it through the desert with a bunch of people all going this way and that, pretending we're on Dakar
Dakar.
Rally, yeah, or the Camel Trophy from back in the day. That would be a lot of fun. You break down, you help your friends, whatever. Then you get some stupid trophy at the end.
Well, you'd also get a brand involved for like support vehicles.
You just get too busy involved.
Do you know what I mean? You'd get support vehicles and just like have them follow everyone,
I
fix their
think
broken
you
car.
touched on it there. It's sense of humour. Is there enough people that have sense of humour here? in
Well, you've
this
seen our
country,
comment
like-
section. No.
No, but it's in, if you add up all the costs of like going to a track day, tires, wheels, brakes, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Like,
Yeah, man.
is it, especially the track days here, do you get enough track time? Do you have...
And everyone's
it-
turning up in a GT3.
Yeah, like it's not fun to be passed by a GT3 all day. Like you kind of want to have a little bit of silliness and like some enjoyment. So I don't know.
So let's go back to what should we touch on now, Alex?
Well, I say the second feather in Mr. Brand 1's hat is content. And I
Yeah.
think every single person in this room has either created content or has an opinion about content. You've created
We're involved in
content.
it, right?
Huh? Yeah, we are. You've created enough content to have a decent opinion I think we should hear about. What do you think about car content? Start broad.
Broad.
Cool, that's wide, right? That's a wide question.
Why not? Let's let Thad take us down the avenue he wants to take us down.
I don't know. There's like it's been fun to watch it evolve over
Yeah, because
time.
you've been like
Yeah, because when we started doing this stuff, we're like, we're gonna make this will be our sizzle reel to get on television, and that was our goal, to like make cool stuff to get on TV.
Yeah.
We did that. We made cool stuff. We got on TV. Then we've dealt with producers and people you have to answer to. They're like,
Yeah.
well, fuck this.
Let's stay on YouTube.
But TV was paying at the time.
Yeah.
That's who you would
Now-
actually like get money from. And then was like, well, you do YouTube? What is this?
Now
So
it's
then-
flipped.
And then it dipped down to like just the cheapest content possible. Then, if you've noticed, some of the vloggy people now are doing super high production again
Yeah.
because they have the cash and brand support.
Well, and Casey
to
Neistat
do
kind
that.
of showed that you can do cheap content well.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, like
effectively.
outside of like auto stuff, he had that 800-day vlog, 800-day vlog of like, it was on a phone, but it was good content, right?
Yeah, it's just churning it out, and churning it out is good enough to keep people happy.
Consistency.
Consistency,
Big
like,
one.
The biggest thing is like, I get home from work on whatever day, I want to see the Car Culture podcast or listen to it while making dinner.
Or the 308 build, because you turned me on to that 308
Yeah,
build.
I
It's
love
really
it.
fun, the K24 spot.
Yeah.
I know the car because Dad told me to watch it. And I've been watching the series, and it's really good. Like, it's a quality build, right? The person presenting is teaching me stuff, like a lot of things that I didn't know about. And it's well produced and it's entertaining. And it's fun to see something controversial, because it's a wide body 308 Honda swap turbocharged K24. You're having a good time here. Do you know what I mean?
Good.
Everyone's putting K24s and everything at the moment. Though.
Yeah,
it's
it's
cool.
the new
It's
bit,
cool.
yeah.
It's the
Chevy block, whatever
it's
you call
proper
it,
cool.
Small block.
Like, and it's
Or the
Hondas,
LS.
right? Like, Hondas are cool in my eyes.
Yeah,
Like,
Hondas are super cool. Like, I would be so happy with a Slam Civic hatchback to just rip around.
just can't fucking afford it.
I
If there
know.
were more people watching this, we could get
I know,
someone to
but-
donate their car
but
to Young Thad.
I can't think of anything else later
content-wise?
that would be like the super light
86, man. If I'm being honest,
slammed kind of old 86 or your 86?
No, all 86s are slow and they're very expensive now. But I think the 86 is going to be the next platform for building fun stuff.
It just needs a
'Cause they
better
made enough of
engine.
them.
Just needs a better
But that's my
engine.
point. Once it gets cheap enough, they're like 25 grand now, right? 25 grand
Yeah.
for
Imagine our little shitty Le Mans thing with a whole bunch of GT86s,
Well, we had
Alfa
one.
Romeos, and
the Safari. We had the guy who built a Safari 86 spec, right?
Yeah, he spent a fair bit on that though. But again, that's going through other garages and stuff. You could kind of cut costs if you were a garage or a workshop yourself.
the best GT86 I was in was a Crawford tuning one.
Okay.
Had 400 horsepower,
Yeah.
That's the one I was
400
talking
foot-pounds
about,
of
yeah.
torque. That thing ripped.
So
That
we
was
saw one
awesome.
yesterday at Time Attack, and it sounded phenomenal. But my experience with these engines and
Because you had a supercharger, right?
yeah, it's
Don't.
they're just not built for it. Unfortunately, if you can make one semi-bulletproof, be a phenomenal car.
But they've got such high compression, they don't respond well to force induction,
Oiling
right?
as well on track, like they're just
Oiling
Yeah.
what? The actual block itself, not the
It's-
supercharger.
no like oil circulation.
Yeah.
So I knew people with NA cars that blew their cars up on track.
Ah, okay,
right?
yeah.
So, but, I mean, and that's going to extremes and stuff. But I think that out the box, they're a great car definitely for a throwaway price in this region at the moment.
Yeah, you keep your foot in it, drive it fast
Yeah.
everywhere.
You want to talk about experiences? Civics are silly money and they're broken, but 86s you can pick one up for cheap, manual,
You
25.
can get all the parts for them here.
Yeah.
and, you know.
Yeah, like the 86 with some good rubber on it. Then, get all the oil to one side, blow your engine.
You'll be smiling though. The thing is, they do. I had a BRZ and it was great fun. Like, still kind of regret selling it. Like, I'd have it again, 100%.
yeah.
Like, but
And
there
would
isn't
you-
anything
and
else.
you wouldn't
right?
supercharge it anymore, would you?
No, I wouldn't. No.
It's just a little bit not powerful enough. Like the
But that new
supercharger
one-
puts you here. You need to just be like
But that new
half
one-
the distance.
The new one, man.
Yeah,
The
but
new one's
that's
got
not-
me thinking things.
Yeah, no, it's too much. Then you can't rag it on track and bump it into
We'll
things.
wait for the new one to be an old one. That's
But
gonna be
after
the-
that though, we're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
There is nothing else. There's
Yeah.
nothing else on the horizon.
No,
right?
they're
Look at
electric
it.
cars.
Unfortunately, and what's the rule in the US? When do you know when they're saying?
2035, right?
Yes, it's too soon is
Yeah.
the problem.
It's not going to work.
And does that mean no new?
Well, they've introduced that new law in California, no more ECU tuning, right? So they're going to
this is
ban
the
stuff before.
RPM Act or some shit.
I
Like.
don't know. That's only probably just California, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, that's,
no.
they're very.
No, that is California. The RPM.
But no, it doesn't have an ECU.
No, EPA
An
's
old
the
car with a
RPM.
carburetor.
So
50s
so
cars, man.
I'm telling you, we'll get some 50s Cadillacs, cruise around.
We're gonna get
By
cigarettes.
the time
to put
electric
them in our
cars come, they're
sleeve.
going to be fucking money though. That's the problem.
That's what I'm
Everything's gonna be
saying. Like you smoke shisha in the car, have a great
The
time.
the world record for driving across America was once held by an Egyptian who put a shisha in his own car. The driving across America, he had a
How do you
shisha
know
put
this?
in his car.
Fucking no idea.
How do you know this?
How good is that?
Is there a guy that comes from the boot and just kind of
No,
refills
no, no.
the
It was,
charcoal?
it was like a dash-mounted shisha. So you're going, just driving
Love
across
it.
America as fast as you can, just fire.
What was he driving?
It was some sort of 50s, 60s car. I don't know. I'll find it. Yeah, but yeah, it was an Egyptian man in America drove across America with the world with sheesh.
But there's something cool about a giant boat, all metal
Yeah,
beast of a car that you don't get anymore. Like, I don't know. I'm reminiscing about big muscle times and things like that. But
you don't see many of those as well here. Actually, it's interesting.
No.
There's a big Jap scene, but there's not much American muscle. Not that much, right?
Where do you reckon the big question? Where do you reckon the Jap scene came from here?
It's it's the same thing. Video games, man.
Yeah.
You
Like
reckon?
we have one shared culture. It's Fast and Furious and video games. That's exactly it. And they were cheap and they were quick.
no, it'd be good. Mitsubishi Eclipse, the turbo
Oh.
one.
Go on, Ahmed. You got something?
I was gonna say that in Kuwait you'd have a big American scene.
Yeah.
I think it's difference of
Well, they're closer to the US, aren't they? Right?
yeah, they were more
What pie?
No, what do you mean? They are culturally, yeah.
yeah, culturally
Oh,
yes.
culturally. Right.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. What are you, I'm Iraqi, man. Don't.
Iraqi, English, and what?
Romanian.
Romanian.
No, that's just
Fucking hell.
trouble.
There's a bit of Jewish.
Romaki. Go on, Ahmed. Go on. You were saying.
Yeah, so I'm not sure why the JDM scene here is big here, but I don't think it was introduced as strongly as in Kuwait, for example. But Kuwait has a strong old JDM scene, like a lot of 240Zs are
So-
in South Kuwait as well.
I think back in the day, Datsuns were sold here quite freely. There was a Datsun dealership in the UAE. I know that's what some people are saying. That I think the heritage comes from that. They can remember their dad. growing up
240s, 260s,
driving them.
280s.
But I don't know where the Skyline thing came from.
Yeah, because there's a big old Skyline. R31, R30 and R31s. I've never seen so many as here.
Just
Right.
Anything old and Japanese. Like I don't. Back in the day when they're doing the right to left conversions, I think maybe it's just the street racing culture. I don't know.
Or possibly the spillover from the patrols and the Land Cruisers.
Possibly, yeah, because
And cheap imports, because you're quite close to Japan, aren't you?
I
Cheap
guess
enough.
they were just like, we'll convert everything to left-hand drive.
Because I've seen 34s with conversions, man. Like, that's a guy who made a mistake at some point in his
They're
life.
still around, man.
There's
Like,
still loads of them.
That blue one?
Oh,
The Pilot?
that was
Oh, that
actually
one.
one of my friend's cars. that
Okay.
He
I thought you meant
sold,
another blue one we know.
he sold it for 300, I think, the
It's
Pilot.
good
in
money
the end.
for it.
But he brought it for 2. But he put a lot of money into it.
Yeah.
But the guy that owned that, the Emirati guy, now has a right-hand drive black R34.
It's pretty strong.
So-
It's pretty cool.
And I think I know what he paid for it as well, so he's winning on every
And
level.
32s aren't that much yet here, are they?
Uh,
Because I keep talking to you two about 32s as well. Because you were thinking about one. I said talk to Dan.
they were cheap. Like, when was lockdown? It's just
2 years ago.
I guess it's a long time, right?
Timing's
But they were like 100, 100.
Man, it would do it. I haven't paid more than 60 for a, for a 32.
See what I mean?
So, and now I think they don't really come up for sale anymore. They used to be like maybe a year ago, 80, I guess, for a
Okay.
semi.
That's still like nice
good,
money.
It's good money.
Acceptable.
But I think I've known people that have paid more than 100. I don't know where the price is now because it's all become quiet. It used to
Yeah.
be public, right? You could easily go on Instagram and you would see
Oh, those
adverts for them. going-
GTZ, whatever it is, that guy always selling cars.
group. Is it group? Anyway,
Something in
but
there, yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's various pages, but they were probably around the last public price is around 80. So many people keep asking me, "Can you find one?" You can.
I think I did.
but the problem is there's too much education in the scene here, and we've seen actually. So the knock on from the US side of things, right? So the US, unlike obviously the prices have gone up, but they understand the real value of certain things. I've seen I can't remember what it was recently. We saw some like Supra wheels, maybe it was Mark II Supra wheels or something, which 300 ZX, and they were priced at like how much were they? 3,000 dirhams. And I'm like, here now everyone here just thinks everything JDM is expensive, where it's certain things that are expensive. So I think the 32 GTR market's gone here.
Yeah.
It's dead. It was people from Canada and the US were really pushing to buy 34s 2 or 3 years ago, and they were buying anything unseen, left-hand drive, sending it to Canada, keeping it there.
Wait 2 years.
Yeah,
mothballs.
That's the biggest mistake.
well, I think Canada you can kind of register it, but what they were
can.
doing is that they were kind of keeping them and trying to sell them into America and saying, "Listen, we'll keep it for you for X amount of time here." But yeah, I think unfortunately, the market's kind of you're not going to find one for not the good money.
Even on like even on like the Japan car traders and things like that, where you browse
those
and the
auction
auction
sites with the pictures.
gone,
Yeah,
gone. I also feel like it took the Japanese people a really long time to go.
To wake
oh,
up.
these are like
They don't
expensive?
want to. No. There's articles written about how quite a few different people have said we will refuse to sell them out in Japan.
So do you know what? They actually all the dealers had an agreement, so not to
Or exporters, you mean, right?
Yeah, well, it was just showrooms in Japan. They had an agreement to say we're not going to sell GTRs to any outsiders at all. But then what happened was people in Japan were buying them themselves and then selling them on. So they were like, well, we need a piece of the pie, right? So
You can't stop it.
yeah,
Because they're going to be the hottest car. Everyone knew it was coming. Everyone knew it was coming. It's like a tidal wave you could see from over there. 25-year-old GTRs.
but you're right. They're not worth the money that people are paying for them. But when EV comes around, they probably will be. Like,
Yeah.
If you're allowed to still drive them on the road.
you should be able to.
Have I driven anything full EV? I've done like the hybrid EV mostly kind of things, and it's fine as like as a toaster. Like if you want to like just get around in something like go point A to point B, yeah, it's fine. But
Because you think we're going to hot rod hybrids?
I don't know. The coolest thing is like the Lunaz design people. Have you seen them?
No.
They take these big 1920s, 1930s like Rolls Royce, and they stick all that electric shit in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of
That's
cool.
the cross between, right? Like,
Yeah, that's like the car, the body itself is the artwork, and it doesn't really, no one cares about the
But I'll be honest,
1929
but
Rolls
even
Royce
like
engine.
240Zs, they've had engine slots for a long time. So I'd say even them, like, you find it's a different kind of engine, but they I can see them slipping into electric at some point.
It's
right?
about the driving. Like, I think if I was fabulously wealthy and I lived in London, I would like to drive my 1929 electric Cadillac or electric Rolls Royce into the center of town.
Yeah.
That would be super cool.
Plug it into a Tesla charging
Yeah,
point.
exactly. And, go do whatever
So you haven't
rich
driven a
people do.
Tesla?
I've been in them,
Yeah.
but I haven't driven them.
Opinion of them? Soulless, right?
Yeah, it's
Quick,
an
though.
appliance. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
fast, but that's like the byproduct of the thing.
It's a consequence, it's not the point, yeah.
But it lacks a sound. It lacks so many things like gear changes and stuff like.
But does the
it's not-
Porsche have soul in?
Oh yeah, I've been in the Taycan. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did a whole
Oh, we
video
took Soul
series about the
Electrified.
Taycan. I went to Saudi in the Taycan. Yeah, that's cool. That like has the little digital sound. They're all stupid fast though.
Yeah, but stupid fast is the right way of putting it, because I don't know, man. Like the 86, I've had it for 7 years, and I love ripping the crap out of it, and it's
Have you
fast
seen
enough.
him Where he has his gloves.
Yeah, I've
For
seen the
driving.
gloves.
Yeah, I've got two sets.
The tints could be darker.
But like, what am I going to do with 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds? What am I?
that's
Apart
the-
from kill people and myself.
That's the thing. Like getting every last bit out of the
Yeah.
car, driving up the mountain road. That's the
Hitting the
enjoyable
rev
bit.
limiter.
And that's why GT2 RSs suck, because it's so easy to go everywhere.
I like them.
They're,
They scare
you
the
keep-
life out
I
of
know,
me.
but you go too fast everywhere. It's too easy to go that
It's
fast.
jail time car. as
Yeah,
well,
the
that's
720S the same way. I love it, but like that's not for me.
Do you own a racetrack?
Don't know.
Yeah, exactly. If there's any way you can read.
Did I just pay 5,000 dirhams in fines when I re-registered my car? Yes,
Where were you going so fast in a Pajero?
everywhere.
How did you get that fast?
Alex is just jealous because he hasn't got a car that works.
Yeah, I got an AC.
I've got an 86, mate. You used to have one as well.
No,
But
that's it.
it's like that's the thing of like using the machine that I fell in love with cars with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the fun bit.
Yeah, I think we're dead. No one has made an electric sports car yet straight up.
Well, Tesla did. The first one, the Roadster, right?
Yeah, but that was terrible.
Oh, and then there's that new one. What's that Croatian car? Rimac.
Rimac.
Yeah.
If you can, I still don't think electric cars are going to give you that.
Experience.
There's no gear changes, number one. I'm not even talking fucking manual. Right?
Porsche's got
But
2 gears.
But like being fast isn't everything.
Yeah.
Like everyone sells up the fast, instant torque, the things like that. But that's not
But that's all they've got to hang their hat on.
like I had at the beginning of this year, I rented a Ferrari 348 in Los Angeles and drove up Angeles Crest. I had so much fun in this thing, and the new
Convertible,
Honda
right?
Civic is faster than it. But it's like the engine sings, things
Yeah.
are like, it's manual steering. Anything with manual steering is a buy,
Yeah.
I think now. Anything with a stick is a buy.
Because you know the McLaren's still got manual steering, right? All of them.
No one's buying a McLaren though.
Not because of reliability, but I can't afford one anyway, so
I
it
just
doesn't
don't want
matter.
to look fucking stupid. Don't want to look stupid. Like, I don't know. Like, this is one thing maybe Porsche get with their market. I don't know. Like, what? Who fucking buys a McLaren? I don't get it. Right?
It's
like,
not Ferrari.
Porsche have a certain type of people. Lamborghini have a certain type of people. But who buys a McLaren?
I think it's a serious sports guys. Do you know what I mean? It's like they don't want to be pricks in a Ferrari, so they buy a McLaren.
That's the only downside I think of Porsche. You just feel like a prick driving one. Right?
Well, you feel like a brick in a Ferrari and a Lamborghini, so.
Porsche makes an awesome fucking car.
Yeah.
They make an amazing car, but like it's not.
Don't want to be seen in it.
The problem is the
that'd be
people
my
that buy
issue.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
That was something we said about Ferrari owners for the longest time. That's the problem with
Yeah, but Ferrari
Ferraris is
classic
Ferrari
owners are
owners.
different. They're a different kind of wanker. Like
Yeah.
they're a wanker, but they're a different kind of wanker, right?
I think my favorite wankers to watch driving around are the Lamborghini wankers because I have one of them.
The
in
new
my-
Lamborghini ones, right?
Yeah, the new Lamborghini wankers because I have a guy in my building who
Has a Huracan?
has a Mercy. No, what's the Aventador?
Oh.
Two of them. Every night at like
Why would you buy two as well?
I
Like,
don't know. But every night at like
Parts.
11:50, he can't get up the hill to hit the button, so it's like whir, 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 to try to scoot forward.
How much the clutch is in those things?
I don't know. It's not good, but they're my favorite kind of car wanker. I think at the
Yeah,
moment.
why?
They're just over the top. That's the American ones the most though.
Yeah?
They're generally like big, juicy, New Jersey guys, gold chains. Like,
Nice.
yeah. It's
You're from
hilarious.
Jersey, aren't you?
No,
Florida?
I was born in upstate New York.
There we go. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
it sounds like the people I want to be hanging around with, right?
They know how to party. Like they
Yeah.
have a good time.
See?
No, it's the best Lamborghini guys are the Japanese Lamborghini guys.
Yeah. with
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about,
The
right?
neons.
He was it.
Everything in Japan's better, though, to be fair, right? Like,
Apart from
I've never
Zondas,
even been,
they
but
don't have a good time in Japan.
Who?
If you know the Zonda. That poor thing. They molested that car. It does not look good anymore.
Well, the Japanese people are crazy. Like, there's the one guy we did the episode about for /Drive. He had like 9 2000 GTs in his building.
oh, man, it's fucking menace, right? Like,
Yeah.
How,
he had
that's the
some-
first $1 million car, right? First $1 million Japanese car.
He had some really cool stuff. Super
Yeah.
cool stuff.
But they always seem to fly under the radar as well, the Japs,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's not... I guess it's just a different world, right? Like,
Well, it's a language barrier, if I'm being honest.
Massive, yeah.
Like, I like to spend a lot of time on YouTube, and you need to fall into a hole
to
of
find.
like referred to, because you can't search for it.
The only Japanese content you find is, like, English-speaking.
Best motoring.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love Best Motoring.
It's the best. Especially because the thing I always send to Thad is, like, and I send to you guys as well, 90s best motoring, F40 versus NSX versus 33 on track, and the guy span his F40, and you're like, oh my God, that's $1.5 million.
I'd still
No,
rather have an F40, mate.
I would. I remember, like, I was talking with some car people, like probably early 2000s. They were talking about like what to buy next or whatever. Like, man, the F40 is $350,000. That seems like a lot.
McLaren F1s used to be less than $1 million.
No, it's bad.
People used to complain because you had to do the service with a laptop. You have a compact laptop that only that 90s laptop is the only way to do it, and you have to replace the
Windows 7?
No,
before that?
95
MS-DOS, right.
Yeah. And the fuel tanks are bags, and you have to replace
Yeah.
them. Yeah, but you could get them for less than $1 million.
Well, I just listened to the Spikes Car Radio with Bruce Meyer on it, who's the best person ever.
Good plug.
Yeah, he's the best person ever. You know, but he was talking about how he passed on a 250 GTO for like $8,500 at the time.
What?
But like, I guess it.
It happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then back to
Well,
what we were saying, like things are
34s.
priced too much. What's
Yeah.
gonna move and shake out of things?
But back to what we were saying
now?
before that, investments, man. Forget investments, because it's about driving. It's about
Yeah.
enjoying the damn thing, right?
It's nice if you can sell it for what you paid for it.
Which you won't. Because you don't. It's not just that. It's the money you put into
If I
the damn
sell,
thing.
if I sell any of my GTRs, what I paid for, like, I'll be pissed.
Yeah, but how much money have you put into them as well?
Yeah, that, I mean,
you know what I mean? That's true.
that is a problem, right?
Yeah.
Like, but I always think that's part of the enjoyment of owning a classic car. Sometimes it's not frustrating here, but you see someone, let's say we take someone with a brand new GT3, like, there is no, all you're doing is you're paying your loan on it, and you've probably got free servicing and everything I don't actually know how Porsches work, but let's say for 2 years.
Service and warranty, 5 years, whatever. Sure.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's an easy life. Owning an old car, it's not an easy life because you don't know what's going to go wrong when, and then the second part is like even finding someone here that's competent enough to work on it.
Ugh.
Then part supply as well, right? Like,
I've
you
been
know,
waiting
Where's
a
the
year
window
for
trim
one.
for an R32? Or what's the black shit that goes
man,
around
don't
the
even get me on this
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
bullshit,
yeah.
right? I paid $700 a side for this thin. Would you have it on the Sylvia as
deflector?
well? It sits. Yeah, basically, it sits on the window. It's basically like window trim. The glass goes into the top of it. But they get all old and crusty, and it's $700 a side, which I gladly paid for because it was OEM genuine stuff.
Yeah.
But
What's his
madness.
name? The Seen Through Glass on YouTube,
Yeah.
right? He just spent £4,000 on 360 buttons.
sticky button.
Yeah,
thing.
because all the Ferraris at that point,
And your Maserati.
my
when you
Maserati
I
had.
remember.
You know, I tell you something that was fun, and you shouldn't. I shouldn't have told, but whatever. The Ferrari service guy was like, "I know a way of cleaning this. You get oven cleaner, and you spray oven cleaner on the button, and it comes right off."
That's what I would do.
Yeah,
If I bought
'cause
that, if I bought the
4,000
185,000 dirham 360, 100% do that.
Yeah, it did have sticky buttons as well, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because it's the worst car to steal. Because if you touch anything, your fingerprints are everywhere.
Well, you'd be all right because you have your racing
Driving gloves.
on, wouldn't
See, now you know. Now you're thinking.
See? Head of the curve.
Okay, so Thad, you got a
Yeah.
Pajero. What are you car actually buying? Let's put you on the spot.
Like a new car?
No, next car. That's not a Pajero.
Like, we need to give them a budget as well. It's really hard. Got to set a budget.
150. Let's
No.
go.
Dirhams.
What would you actually spend your money on?
185,000 dirhams on a McLaren and a Ferrari 360 silver.
It's now,
With an
No,
SUV.
I-
it's now
like-
285, right?
No, the thinking long and hard about this and checking my favorite classified site.
The German one.
Yeah, the German one.
Yeah.
That's the good one.
It's good
Anything
for
older than 25 years old. But think about things that you like in a car. Like it needs to be, I think, manual steering. It's got to have a stick shift. It's got to have some kind of driving pleasure. It can't be priced out of whack.
Yep.
You know, and you have the brands that you like. Porsche has gone a little crazy.
Got 924, 944.
Yeah, but that's not. It's not what's your poster kind of car thing. One, I got to fit in it. The other one, I got to fit in it too. So there's that problem.
Can we just cut to a picture of Thad being big?
So it brings me down to like price and things like that. But the thing that I'm gonna try to get next be a 348 hardtop GTP.
the one. The blue one.
Not the blue one.
Not the blue one?
No, there's like other ones floating around in the world. But
'Cause
I
that's
think it's unloved and it's priced correctly right now. It's not
Why is it unloved?
because there was the Testarossa. Like it fell into the shadow of the Testarossa, and it was an evolution of like the 328 a little bit. People don't. I think it's
Pre-modern Ferrari as well, right?
Yeah,
Because
like-
you have a tattoo, don't you,
yeah.
Mr.?
And Enzo still like approved the car, so I think it's not loved yet. It's priced right.
You drove it in
I've
California.
driven it. I've ridden in one. I think it hits a lot of good marks. It's not fast, but it makes the right noises.
It feels fast. It feels fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Like I don't like. It's so easy. Like the Tesla Uber will be faster than it, but who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, even the Camry probably, and that's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's not the point.
Let's ask Alex the same question because he's probably going to go, I own my
Well,
dream
what's
car."
really funny was that I remember we went for beers at one point, and it had been a while, and I was there with you and Nick, and were you there as well, Hash? Oh, and I told you guys like I bought my NSX because I've been talking about it for 6 years about buying an NSX, and I was like, whatever. I'm like, no, I bought it. Here's the car. And I remember that was the moment you were like, oh shit, I have to buy a car now. And hasn't Mr. Nicholas as well bought himself a 944?
Yeah,
Yeah.
got a good deal, I think. But it's a right-hand drive, which I don't know. Whatever. He's got different things.
That's a different thing.
But it's better than the Ford Ranchero thing he was on about. I was calling people in America all the time, like, "Hey, tell me about your Ford Ranchero."
Why?
I don't know. He likes it. He likes it.
But
But
we
I
work with the more like the Ferrari I get, the NSX. Honestly, you can make a case for even with the wing. Don't say anything. But a Ford Ranchero.
but like
What? You think I got a problem with your wing?
Oh,
Where did that come
can we
from?
have a supercar at the end of all of this? When we're all dead, let's just make a supercar. But yeah, the Ford Ranchero.
But if you know, you go back to think of what you can get that's not crazy price, it's in
It's still fun.
that's still fun. Like your cars are gone, the R32s are gone.
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot of things that are still a strong, reasonable price.
You can
buy.
if you want to buy something really broken.
Yeah, I'm not.
Really broken.
Basically, the whole world's fucked when it comes to cars. That's it.
Car culture
Yeah,
is.
I think it's got to like dip
We need
again,
to shift.
right?
What are we doing next? Watch culture. We can change the watch culture.
I'm telling you, man.
Wing culture.
1950s big slow things,
Slow culture.
or things with big stereo systems like Escalades and spinners.
Not even dropped. Just
I'm on the whole JBR spinner thing. That'd be great.
yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm down.
That'd
I think
be
we can get
good.
a
Rather
cab.
than doing 24 hours of Lemon, do a 24-minute cruise of JBR.
24 hours of JBR.
24
this
hours of
country-
JBR is brilliant.
Yeah.
See how long you can go until the police come.
They're there all the time, right?
Yeah.
Do
Everyone's
they even
enjoying
make
it.
spinners anymore?
Yeah, they make a Supreme spinner. I don't know if you saw that recently.
Oh, really? No.
yeah.
All right, I'm
That
in.
was like literally last week or the week before last.
You put Supreme on anything, man.
Like anything big and black with chrome wheels on it is pretty cool.
All right, I think we're about
Okay.
to wrap up. Thad,
Chat,
was
yeah.
there anything that you want to tell 225 listeners out there? Anything you want to plug, maybe?
Smash that like button.
Hit like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, yeah.
Yeah, and they can follow you on the Instagram as well. Brown one. All of you probably follow us anyway if you know this podcast. But thank you very much for having us,
No, good job,
Thad.
guys.
Dan,
It's very
thank you for being
professional.
Dan. Ahmed, and that's a wrap.
That was a nice way to finish, Alex.
Yeah, I think we gusto.